You have just tapped into the Christian Life Coach Collective, and I'm your host, Laura Malone. I'm here to equip and encourage coaches in skills, business, personal life, and faith. I believe you're already 100% worthy and capable, and you're called for such a time as this. So let's get you walking it out with courage and confidence so you can be an amazing coach who sees transformation and great results in both your life and the lives around you. Let's get started. So I was sitting across the kitchen table with a friend of mine many years ago, and I was listening to her pour her heart out and tell me all these dreams that she had, all these things she wanted to do. And basically, she was debriefing like all of the struggles, everything that she felt she lacked, everything she felt was against her, like all the obstacles standing in her way, all of the things that she felt she had not been equipped with in her life to support her as the person she was then and the person that she thought she wanted to be. And she felt like she didn't have anybody to help her. And in my mind, we were hanging out. We were just being friends. She was just coming over to my house. And it turns out, in hindsight, I can see now that she was stuck. And because she didn't know what to do next, she was debriefing with me and she was kind of pouring it all out. And she didn't feel hopeful. She didn't feel empowered. She didn't know how to get vision for what was possible. But as I sat there with her listening, I realized I could see the road ahead for her. And not because I wanted the exact same things, and not because I had the exact same story, but because I knew how to untangle what she was pouring out. I knew how to help her take just one step forward. I knew how to ask her questions to get her definition about where she wanted to go and to dial in the big dreams that she had. I knew how to say, instead of saying, what your dream is to, 20, 30 years down the road, let's talk about what your dream is that's a month from now that will get you going down the road so that you can ever be the person who fulfills those dreams 20 and 30 years from now. The problem I had was that back then I didn't have any kind of framework for her. I didn't have a process. I didn't have language for what I was offering her. I just knew that she was sitting at my kitchen table. I knew that the kids were running around me. I knew that there were a lot of just life things going on. But I didn't know that I was a coach, and I didn't know that I was coaching her. And I didn't know that she was essentially one of the perfect types of clients for me to work with. Because I have a gift of possibility. I can see things for other people that, and I'm not attached to them. It's like non-attachment is necessary in coaching. I don't need somebody to do something a specific way because I want them to do it. I have the ability to say, look at the drop-down list. I love multiple choice. I love drop-down lists. I'm just like, ooh, let's pick one. I love when the security questions pop up and it's like a drop-down list of which security question you want to set up. What's your maiden name? Who was your favorite elementary school teacher? What was your first car? I love to just dwell on that drop-down list and think, I don't know, which one do I want to choose today? What was your best friend's name, when you're in kindergarten? Things like that. I love a good drop-down list, and I can create a pretty amazing drop-down list. Okay, so where are you right now? Let's define your point A. Are you here, 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 here? Oh, okay. Where do you want to go? Let's define your point B. Do you want to go here? Do you want to go there? I can define why do you want to go there? And then which of these 6 different paths, the routes between point A and point B, would you like to take? Some go through the city, some go through the country. Some have a quick trip along the way. Others have Starbucks. Sometimes there's a Dairy Queen. Like, what is important to you? Do you like a Piggly Wiggly or a Publix if you need to stop at the grocery store? And I like to see the individuality between people and give them a drop down list of everything that is possible. And I have such a strong capacity belief, meaning I believe people have capacity to do these things if they could get clarity. And I sat across from my friend just thinking, I really hope that all of this, you know, my kids are running around. My family probably needs tending to. I probably need to start dinner, whatever I was thinking back then. And at the same time, I was pouring all of my heart into something with her. And I realized at the end of it, I don't know if she's going to do anything. Like I showed up fully. She poured her heart out to be debriefed, but that did not mean she wanted change or transformation or action steps or to actually do anything with intentionality. But I showed up like she was going to. That's part of who I am is I'm going to show up fully. And what happens is I get a little disappointed when I find out, a month or two later, she comes back. She's like, yeah, that was great. I feel so inspired when I went home after talking to you. Felt like all of those things were possible. You're so great to talk to, Laura. But I didn't really do anything. I still feel stuck. And I'm like, ugh, right. What did I pour myself? Like I sacrificed other things I could be doing in my life to pour myself into somebody else's life, only to find out they weren't poured into their own life. They weren't actually invested. And I loved her. She was my friend. I still love her. She's still my friend. But I just didn't have the clarity for myself. And I hoped that my encouragement and my possibilities and the coaching, even though I didn't call it that then, would stick. I hoped that she'd take what I said, what I walked her through, and actually do something with it. And in the end, I really walked away thinking, I don't know if I helped at all. Did I actually make things more confusing? Looking back, I see that was one of the first moments where I felt God was whispering, "This is what I made you for." And that conversation and so many other conversations like it taught me something really important. Having a heart to help people is really beautiful. Having a heart to do that for free and call it your like just your ministry in the church parking lot, so beautiful, very generous. But it is not the same thing as having the skills, tools, and framework to help someone consistently and effectively. When you're called to coach, it's not just about good intentions. It's about learning how to listen differently, not just listen as a friend across the table, but listen differently with a different purpose. How to ask the right curious questions that are contextualized to the person and their individual design, and how to walk somebody through a process and have a method that you understand and believe in, but also know that it belongs to them because you don't want them to just feel heard. They want change when they come to you. And those are the people who will make an investment of money and time and action that will sign up to become a client. And training it gives you the structure and skill to do that every time. Being trained in coaching skills and tools and frameworks, it's what helps build your confidence and your certainty and your competency. It gives your clients clarity and it gives you a way to serve that won't burn you out or leave you wondering if it worked at all. Proverbs 20, verse 5, it says that counsel in a person's heart is deep water, but a person of understanding draws it out. I'm just going to say, that's just, I am interpreting this in this context. That the counsel in a client's heart is deep water, but a coach who's a person of understanding draws it out. Same thing for a parent and a mentor and a pastor and a counselor, like a person of understanding to become someone who understands how to guide somebody, how to draw what's already within them up and out. And this verse just stands out to me because it's a perfect picture of coaching. Every person that you meet is carrying something deep. They have wisdom, they have clarity and experience and answers that they might not even realize is there. Most of the time they don't. But it takes skill and patience and the right questions to draw it out. That's what a trained coach does. So it's not about telling people what to do. It's about helping them uncover what God has already placed inside of them. That's why training matters, because the better you are at drawing it out, the more transformation you'll see it in their lives. I wish that we could all say we had amazing parents who understood this, who knew it, and were trained to draw out what's already within us. We wish that we could say our family of origin did this for us. Our friends, our churches, our schools did this, but most people won't say that is the situation for them. That's why I believe everybody could really use a coach. I believe they need teachers. I believe they need mentors. I believe they need counselors. And I also believe everybody needs a coach. Different coaches for different things and seasons. So maybe for you, you've been the go-to person in your family or your friend group or your church for a long time, and people come to you because you're a safe place and you care and you listen and you reflect and you have great things to offer back to them. Maybe just like me at that kitchen table, you can already see the next step somebody could take. But if you've ever walked away wondering, like, did I actually help anybody? Was my sacrifice of time and energy really valuable? Are they going to do anything with it? That is where becoming a trained and certified Christian life coach can change everything for you. And in the Sterling and Stone certification path, my goal isn't to hand you a title or a piece of paper. My goal is to train you in a proven faith-based framework called the Pearl Practice that can help you coach anyone in any situation with confidence and clarity. And it's really a framework that you can trust to hold your client's story and guide them through transformation and keep both of you on track towards the results they want and the legacy that they're building. So if you've ever felt the nudge that says, this is what I made you for, like I heard the Lord whisper to me, I invite you to take the next step and go to sterlingandstonementoring.com and read about the Christian Life Coach certification pathway. You'll find how the training works and what you'll learn in there and how you can start using your God-given gifts in a way that's very intentional, really effective, and sustainable for who you are, the life that you have. You don't have to wait till you feel ready. I always coach my clients, my kids, my friends. Don't wait till you feel ready. That ready is not a thing. The goal is to be willing to experiment without expectation of yourself. Like, just show up and try. Take imperfect action. The kind of action that says, I don't need to be fit before I go to the gym. I am willing to put on my sneakers and drive and walk through the doors and get on a treadmill or do circuit training. Like, I'm not going to wait for perfect. I'm going to take imperfect action. You can start preparing now to be the coach that you were born to be, because the world doesn't just need more good listeners. It really needs people who are trained to guide people in changing their lives. It's discipleship. People are looking for hope and they're looking for help. So imagine what it would be like to be somebody who knows how to help and knows how to offer it to people in a container so that the world out there knows that you're the right guide for them. Because in that, it'll change everything for both of you. So I want you to remember all things are possible. Everything is figure outable. And we're in this together. So talk to you next week. Thanks for listening. For more coaching resources and to learn how to work with me, head to sterlingandstonementoring.com or click the link in the show notes. Remember, walk boldly in your calling, and I'll talk to you next time.